You know, we trust the ground beneath our feet. We assume it's solid, stable, permanent. But what if it's not? What if, in some places, it's just a thin crust over a hidden, empty void?
Well, this is what happens when that trust is shattered. In a single instant, everything we build our lives on can literally be swallowed by the earth. It's the terrifying reality of a sinkhole.
So, what is this force that can just defy the very ground we stand on? And, in our rapidly developing world, are we just innocent bystanders, or are we actually helping to pull the trigger?
See, sinkholes have this kind of dual identity. On one hand, they can be these breathtaking natural wonders. But on the other, they are catastrophic hazards that can tear our cities apart without any warning.
To really understand this, we need to go deeper. Literally, let's peel back the layers of the earth and see exactly how a sinkhole is born.
So at its core, a sinkhole is basically a hole created by water. Now, it can be a slow, gradual slump over time, or it can be a sudden, catastrophic collapse. And their size? Well, they can range from just a few feet across to hundreds of acres.
It all starts with something as simple as rain. As that rainwater soaks through the soil, it picks up carbon dioxide and becomes a weak acid. But you know, over centuries, even a weak acid can become incredibly powerful.
So this acidic water, it just eats away at certain types of rock, like limestone, kind of like sugar dissolving in water. But, you know, on a geological timescale. We're talking thousands of years of this constant drip, 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 carving out massive voids right under our feet.
So yeah, it really boils down to 4 simple steps. Dissolve, cavity, weaken, and then collapse. The water dissolves the rock. That creates a hidden cavity. The surface above it gets weaker and weaker until one day gravity just wins.
Now that's the natural story. But that's not the whole story. Human activity is playing a huge role in when and where sinkholes suddenly appear.
And hey, this isn't just speculation. The research is clear. Our actions are significantly amplifying the problem, turning what was a slow geological risk into a very real, very costly urban disaster. We're basically hitting fast forward on a natural process.
I mean, just look at this picture. This illustrates one of the biggest culprits, pumping groundwater. That pole shows how the ground has sunk nearly 30 feet because of all the water being pumped out for irrigation. See, the water in the ground actually helps support the soil. When we pump it out, we remove that support, and that seriously increases the risk of a collapse.
And it's not just farming. Leaky pipes, vibrations from construction, even just the sheer weight of all the new buildings we put up, all of these things can weaken the ground and trigger a collapse.
So how can you protect yourself? Well, the good news is sinkholes rarely appear without some kind of warning. And while scientists are getting better at predicting them, your own eyes are still the first line of defense. Knowing what to look for can be the difference between a close call and a total catastrophe.
First things first, you've got to be able to tell the difference between a house just settling normally and a potential sinkhole. Settling is slow, it's pretty uniform. Sinkhole activity, on the other hand, is localized, it gets progressively worse, and you'll often see multiple warning signs all at once.
So here's what you need to watch for. New, widening cracks in your foundation. Doors and windows that suddenly start to jam. Trees or fence posts that are leaning when they weren't before. Circular cracks in the soil. And listen. Listen for strange sounds like popping or rumbling coming from underground.
Okay, so while the dangers are absolutely real, it's also true that sinkholes create some of the world's most stunning natural wonders. They're this powerful reminder of just how dynamic and how fragile our planet's crust really is.
I mean, the sheer scale of some of these things is just staggering. The Zhaozhai Tankang in China, it's so deep you could fit the Eiffel Tower inside it twice over. These aren't just holes in the ground, they're colossal geological features.
And they come in this amazing variety all across the globe. You've got the sacred water-filled cenotes of Mexico, the giant heavenly pits of China, and these mysterious underwater blue holes that are basically gateways to submerged cave systems.
And that brings us to this stunner, the Great Blue Hole in Belize. Hard to believe, but it was once a dry cave. Then the sea levels rose after the last ice age and flooded it. Today, it's a World Heritage Site, a beautiful, awe-inspiring symbol of the geological power that's hidden just beneath the surface.
It's a pretty humbling thought, isn't it? The ground beneath us is in this constant dance between creation and collapse. And understanding that dance is absolutely key to coexisting with our ever-changing planet. So what other hidden forces are shaping the world around us right now?